Hello, this is Beyond Aliens and the Occult again. Don't know if you've been hearing about what's happening in South America and Peru, with the entire village, with villagers defending themselves against supposed aliens. They call them the pelacaras in español. In Spanish, it means face peelers. It's beyond unpleasant, to be honest, because since I'm Hispanic and I know Spanish, I sometimes check on his Latin news, and these news don't show up in international media, in English-talking countries. So you have to look it up yourself if you speak Spanish. And thankfully, there are a few channels who have made coverage in English about it. I will put some print screens here. You can see the YouTube channels. But it's so weird and bizarre because these entities have, been attacking villagers in a random place in Peru in some distant, located somewhere deep in the rainforest somewhere. And they had to shoot them and defend themselves, and people have been showing up dead in waters without faces, like chupacabra cases and stuff. And a woman was attacked, a 15-year-old woman, but she survived, thankfully. But there are video recordings of them shooting at them, and in the air, floating around with, anti-gravity technology, on their feet. And they look like greys, tall greys, and reptilians. And it even seems like they're either fighting with each other too, or they're fighting together against the humans. It's hard to tell apart, but I know not everyone looks the same when they show the recordings of the supposed entity. They do not look the same. So one of them looks more reptilian-like, the other one is more gray-like. So apparently it went so far that the locals were terrified and had to make the government send soldiers there and to protect them. And of course the government, the state of Peru, gives them the most stupid, gullible explanation ever, that it was illegal miners sending drones to scare them away with dressed up as aliens and stuff. A drone can't, kill a person and go down on the ground and grab a woman by the neck, and try to slit her throat and face peel people, for fuck's sake. The news, the actual explanation given by the news is so humiliating and degrading to the people who are being attacked and the lives being lost there. And a lot of people say that it's a false flag, paper, blue beam, project blue beam and all of that. But in my own opinion, I don't think this is part of the agenda, the obvious agenda, with a staged alien invasion and all of that, because it seems to more correlate with a rogue group of interdimensional aliens or interdimensionals fighting or trying to scare away the villagers from the location, because according to the Peruvian government, there's a lot of gold in that area, in the mines and caves and probably in the waters and the rivers. So if you know that about gold is very important in many technologies. I believe it's important even to, nuclear. I'm no scientist, I don't know, but it's very important for advanced technology to use gold, so it's probably related to the gold, and they want it for themselves and keep the villagers away from there. But I'm not surprised, but I'm very, how to put it, it annoys me to know that the government, still refuse to tell the truth, and make up the most irrational explanations to things that everybody can see it's not anything normal, And I wonder how long they will keep lying about this. now. And now, if you know about the Pentagon incident with the UAPs and David Rush, they of course they're trying to change their stories, and say he's, cover it up and question his mental stability and all of that. The usual stuff. It's so tiresome to see how hard they're trying to cover something up. But the truth will come out. It's already starting to, it's getting so intense now that it's just gonna get more and more and more things happening in the world that's just gonna keep getting so hard to debunk and explain by governments and our official news. So it's just interesting time to live in. And 2003 is like tinfoil hat Christmas in my eyes. It's like the conspiracies are coming true. It's not just theories anymore; it's actual truth. So if you didn't know about the Peru cases that's been happening the past week, you should check it out. There's a lot of channels that talk about it in English too, and not just the Spanish news. But yeah, I want just to inform you about the Peru alien invasion or attacks that's been happening recently in the past days and weeks. Yeah, this was Beyond Aliens and Occult. Thanks for listening. Take care. Have a good day. Goodbye.